assumed that a mother of a 21-year-old that did not live with their child would know in less than 24 hours that their daughter was missing. I knew right off. She was due to go to a doctor's appointment. We were going to meet. We were going to go have lunch. We were going to go do. She never showed up at her house. I called her boyfriend. I tried to figure out where my daughter was. Finally, her boyfriend called me right after he got off of work at 7 p.m. I filed a missing persons at 8 p.m. And unfortunately, I didn't know about the gentleman that she was with or last seen. I was told she was at a friend's house, and I did not find out until I was at the police station. And when I found out the guy's name, I looked him up because I was told he had a record. And when I looked him up, I realized that, oh my God, he was involved with Kara Kopetsky and her missing. And within 6 hours of me going home after filing a police report and putting out this guy's picture along with another gentleman's picture, her car was burned within 6 hours after me posting it on Facebook. During this, after we were told at the beginning, it took them for me to go to the police station in Belton, unfortunately, because I couldn't get anybody to do anything because they weren't going to assign me a homicide person until Monday. That has changed now, thank God. And I don't, because they did everything they could do once they found out who she was last seen. They have done everything. They've been wonderful. I have no issues with that. But the thing of it is I had all this information and I didn't know what to do with it. So I went to Belton. And Belton, they immediately called KCPD and they all worked together. And so by 4 p.m., her car was picked up and sent to the police department, and they identified it as her car at 4 p.m. the next day on Saturday. And so here I am. My worst fear was my daughter being burned in the car. And thank goodness the police officer said, your daughter was not in the car. And so then it became multiple searches. I had teams going out 3 to 5 times a week up until November. Once it started getting cold, we were doing it. Rain, hot, snow, I mean, you name it, we were out there. I was out there many days, many hours, just because everybody can vouch for this. I told everybody, I will find my daughter before spring. Mark my words, I will find my daughter. I prayed upon it. I did everything, and we found her by April. But my also promise was, when we find her, we would find Kara. Unfortunately, we are waiting, and it breaks my heart because we're still waiting for the identification of her. But during this time, we had multiple teams going out searching for my daughter, and we found another gentleman. And his name, we actually found two, and his name is Brandon. And Brandon is also on the homicide list. And he, you know what? He was also a 21-year-old boy. He was a new father. And what broke my heart is, we're worried about Jessica, but nobody said, hey, what about Brandon? So he is a person too, and I just want to let everybody know that this gentleman, we need to find his murderer too, because that is still not done, and he was found, and we still don't have the people. So, and we also found a 19-year-old, and his remains were identified around the same time that my daughter's was identified. So there's 4 people. Yes, 2 of them did not go with the associate person, but we still don't know everything that is related to my daughter's death. And that's what kills me, is because we don't know. We don't know what happened. We don't know if many people are involved. We don't know. And we're just waiting. And it's hard because during this time, I have a 15-year-old. And during this time, not only that, is I was dealing with my 15-year-old wanting to hurt herself because she thought it was her fault. Because the day my daughter went missing, she asked Megan if she should come to the house, and Megan said, no, I'm gonna be okay. It's just kid drama. But to this day, she still thinks that if she would have had her come, then she wouldn't have been gone. And so I have 2 other daughters, and they're the reason why I get up every morning. They're the reason why I fight. And I hear my 22-year-old, because she just turned 22 July 10th. I hear her in my head telling me, Mom, you better do right by my sisters, or I'm gonna come back and get you. I feel her with me all the time. People might think I'm crazy, but my daughters, my 15-year-old, the reason why she could do what she did is because she feels her sister. She put on a whole celebration of life for her sister all by herself, and she wasn't even 15 yet. So, you know what? I'm just going to be an advocate for everybody. I mean...
You'll be part of the team.
I'm sorry.
For what?